This is a paid advertisement for legal services sponsored by Nightline Legal. Cases assigned on a random basis to participating law firms. Attention cancer victims who use the weed killer Roundup. A federal jury unanimously found that Monsanto's popular weed killer Roundup was a substantial factor in causing cancer. You may be entitled to financial compensation. If you or a loved one used Roundup weed killer and were diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, call the number on your screen now.
Call 1-800-347-0252.
Sketch, Forrest! Sketch!
Pictionary.
My daddy, he liked Pictionary. He liked Pictionary shrimp, Pictionary shrimp.
Pencil us in.
This is for the trip to dentist.
Every weekday on WNKY, NBC 40.
Vote Morgan Hoover Best TV Personality at KentuckyLiving.com.
Good Monday morning. It's Memorial Day. I'm meteorologist Darius Mack with your News 40 Weather Authority. We had some unsettled weather yesterday, mainly in the form of clouds and cooler temperatures, but I'm tracking temperatures recovering today. News 40 Sunrise starts right now.
Coming up on News 40 Sunrise. Today is Memorial Day. We'll learn about how fallen soldiers and veterans are honored throughout Kentucky for the holiday. Plus, President Biden announced a debt ceiling deal between the White House and Congress Sunday. We'll discover the details of the discussion and what this means for our economy. Then, the unofficial start of summer comes with warm weather and trips to the pool. Find out what experts say you should do to keep your kids safe in the water this season. News 40 Sunrise starts right now. Good Monday morning, and thank you for joining us here on News 40 Sunrise. I'm Ashley Wilson. Let's start off with our top story. We are remembering soldiers nationwide at Arlington National Cemetery this Memorial Day morning. First observed on May 30th, 1868, Memorial Day was dedicated to those who died while serving the country during the Civil War. After both World Wars, it was turned into a day to remember all military personnel who died while serving their country. Over the weekend, people from all around the nation placed over 200,000 flags for those lives lost. And back here in Kentucky, fallen soldiers are being honored around the state for their role in serving our country. Today at 10 a.m., Governor Andy Beshear, along with other state leaders, will be at the Kentucky National Guard Memorial in Frankfort, adding 5 new names to the memorial. This brings the number of names to 291 soldiers and airmen since 1912. The governor has also ordered the flag at the state capitol to fly half-mast until noon today to honor those who gave their life for our country. And back here at home, Barron County spent their weekend honoring those lives lost in the fight for freedom. Dozens of people flocked to Glasgow Municipal Cemetery on Saturday to lay flags down at each veteran's grave to say thank you for all they did for our country. The event is held annually, free to the public, and coordinated by the Barron Veterans Association. Typically, though, they see volunteers from all over. From the JROTC, from Barron County High School, local veterans, members of the general public, and even Barron County Judge Executive Jamie Bewley-Byrd was out planting flags.
Barron County is a very veteran-rich county, and we're proud of that heritage, and we try to remember it. We want to instill that in the younger people here in Barron County, and we don't want our veterans to be forgotten.
Mutter says hundreds of flags are placed every year and that normally it takes 2 to 3 hours to cover every veteran's grave. Authorities in Henderson, Kentucky say they believe they found the body of a missing inmate. Police say a body was pulled from the Ohio River on Sunday, and they believe it was escaped prisoner Bradley Gillespie. He broke out of prison in Lima, Ohio last Tuesday, along with another man, James Lee. Investigators say both men hid in a dumpster at the prison before making their escape. Police recaptured Lee last week, but Gillespie was still on the run. Authorities say they will conduct an autopsy Tuesday to help identify the body found. And 2 more horses have died at Churchill Downs here in Kentucky. Churchill Downs, home of the Kentucky Derby, said Saturday that 2 horses were euthanized after sustaining injuries. That brings the total number of horse deaths in the past 2 months to 12. Churchill Downs officials said they are troubled by the deaths and don't know why they're happening. Churchill Downs said it's working with the Kentucky Horse Racing Commission to investigate the deaths and improve the sport's safety. Let's now check in with meteorologist Darius Mack for a look at what's happening outside our front door on this Memorial Day. Darius, beautiful sunrise, but it's a little chilly today.
It is a little cool out there. You may notice a bit of a nip in the air out there with the cooler temperatures, with numbers running into the 50s across the area. We have some clouds across the region as well. You're looking at the Logan aluminum plant here on this Monday morning, Memorial Day morning. 51 degrees currently into Russellville this hour. A calm wind from the north and east. Temperature-wise across the board, generally into the 50s out there. 52 into Scottsville. You're looking at numbers into the upper 50s as well in some locations. 58 in Glasgow, 59 here in Bowling Green. Winds and wind speeds generally light and calm, again flowing in from the north this hour. As far as conditions go with radar, we are pretty dry and quiet. Some areas saw a few showers yesterday and some clouds, all associated with that area of low pressure that is over across the east. That is bringing some showers towards West Virginia and Virginia. Let's help you plan out your day for your Memorial Day. We're starting off into the 50s this morning. Temperatures are recovering today. We're going to be near 80 by this afternoon. Don't go anywhere. News 40 Sunrise continues right after this.
WNKY News 40, broadcasting live from the German American Bank studio in downtown Bowling Green.
At Flora, Tampa & Stewart, when you're hurt in a car accident, you're going to get personal representation from the top attorney. We may not be big, but we're local. You will meet with me personally. We're loyal and always on your side. We won't run from big insurance, and we will stand and fight for your rights. After all, it's not the size of the firm, it's the attorney who will fight for you. I'm Flora, Tampa & Stewart.
Johnson, don't forget to have that TPS report on my desk by the end of the day. By the end of today. Hey, Johnson, you better not be late. You better not be late for our sales meeting. Or else.
Take back your self-care with a Bowling Green Athletic Club membership. Start living your best life. Get started at bgathletic.club.com. BAC. It starts here. It starts now.
Join the WNKY News 40 weather team. Visit WNKY.com to become a weather watcher.
All hits. Woohoo 107.1.
It's true, my bad habits lead to you.
All hits.
I need you all night. Come on, dance with me.
The best mix.
Got nobody else as good as you. I need you to stay.
The most music in the morning and all day long. All hits. Woohoo 107.1. The best mix.
When it comes to the feud,
if they had an inflatable Steve Harvey doll, name something a woman might do with it.
you either fail it,
Play ball with it.
or nail it.
Definitely sleep with it.
Quit grabbing me. Go to sleep.
Family Feud.
Welcome back to News 40 Sunrise at 7 minutes past the hour, and now time for Living Well, brought to you by Spring Hill Pharmacy. As we all know, today is Memorial Day, a time when we honor those who died serving our country, and also a time when many people go cook out, grill out, but you don't want a foodborne illness to ruin your holiday. In today's Health Minute, News 40's Morgan Hoover has ways to keep food safe this Memorial Day.
It's considered the unofficial start of summer. If you're grilling out for Memorial Day, it's important to focus on food safety.
The warmer temperatures make it really easy for bacteria to multiply to dangerous levels that can potentially get you sick.
To lower your risk, the USDA says to follow 4 rules. First, clean your hands, utensils, and surfaces where you're cooking often, especially when handling raw meat, seafood, and eggs.
It's so easy to then touch other items and spread that bacteria around, which we don't want.
Next, separate. Use different cutting boards and plates for produce than you do for raw meat products. Keep cooked and raw foods separate. Also, cook food to the right temperature, which varies based on the food.
It's really easy for the, grill marks to make it look like that food is done, but you have to use a food thermometer to make sure your food has reached a safe internal temperature.
Finally, chill. Perishable food can be kept out at room temperature for up to 2 hours. But on hot days, when the temperature hits 90 degrees Fahrenheit or above, it's just 1 hour.
To help, extend your time and keep the food even safer, you could consider something like an ice bath. So if you're outside, bring an extra bowl, bring one of those foil trays that you can put things in, get some ice in there and nestle those bowls or containers.
For Health Minute, I'm Morgan Hoover.
When it comes to managing blood sugar levels, people with type 2 diabetes might want to be sure they're exercising in the afternoons. Massachusetts Brigham and Women's Hospital released a new study that looked at data from more than 2,400 people who were overweight and diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. The Harvard Medical School researchers also used a motion detector device to measure activity. Turns out that those who did moderate to vigorous physical activity in the afternoon had greatest reduction in blood glucose levels. Coming up next on News 40 Sunrise, a deal has been struck to extend the national debt. We'll see just how much more time politicians now have. Plus, Darius Mack will have a full check of our Memorial Day forecast. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
At Spring Hill Pharmacy, we are here to help people with their prescriptions, including delivering their medications to their door for free. We are excited to provide Smart Pack packaging at little to no cost. We have made a significant investment in this technology to package prescriptions. If we can keep people at home longer, help them with their medications and proper use, we feel like we have accomplished our goal as a pharmacy. Spring Hill Pharmacy, where helping people is what we do. Visit us on Russellville Road in Bowling Green.
Crawl spaces in the South were a bad idea. There's a lot of things going on down there. It's like the perfect storm on a home. So you can do a lot of damage pretty quick. But there's a lot of neglect in crawl spaces, and I don't think I've ever seen one yet that we couldn't make better.
Hey, Aaron, how are you?
We're all born with the good in us. We're all in need of love. Dreams get torn, but we stand up, making a change that is calling us. Beautiful world, beautiful people, boys and girls, we're all made equal. So clap your hands, get up and dance. Beautiful world, beautiful people.
Join the WNKY News 40 weather team. Visit WNKY.com to become a weather watcher.
At WNKY News 40, we're proud to be your weather authority. From Bowling Green to Glasgow, from Morgantown to Brownsville to Edmonton, we cover more than 2,000 square miles.
We can't be everywhere, so that's where you come in. We're inviting you to become part of the WNKY News 40 Weather Watchers.
Visit WNKY.com to learn how you can join the team.
And we'll see you for all-day weather coverage.
News 40 weather, because local matters.
On behalf of our WNKY News 40 family, we'd like to congratulate the class of 2023. Your future awaits, so go into the world and do well. But more importantly, go into the world and do good, because local matters.
President Biden announced a debt ceiling deal between the White House and Congress Sunday. The bill would raise the debt ceiling and avoid a potential catastrophic default. Bree Jackson is in Washington with the latest.
After weeks of slow progress, a breakthrough on debt ceiling negotiations. The White House and Republicans reached a bipartisan deal over the weekend.
The agreement prevents the worst possible crisis, a default.
The agreement extends the government's current debt limit for 2 years in exchange for spending cuts. There are no changes to Medicaid, but there will be work requirements for certain people on food stamp programs, a major sticking point during talks.
It's not 100% what everybody wants, but when you look, the country is going to be stronger. This is going to be transformational.
Members from both parties are praising the last-minute deal to avoid a government default.
Overwhelmingly, Republicans in this conference are going to support the deal. How could they not? It is a fantastic deal.
But other Republicans and some progressives raise concerns.
You know, I'm not a big fan of in principle or frameworks. That's always, a problem if you can't see the exact legislative text.
President Biden says the budget deal is good news for Americans.
I strongly urge both chambers to pass that agreement.
Lawmakers must act fast, but will have a little more breathing room. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen said that the default deadline is extended to June 5th.
The CEO of J.P. Morgan Chase was deposed Friday in civil cases involving the bank's former client, Jeffrey Epstein. Jamie Dimon was asked about the bank's relationship with the powerful financier accused of sex trafficking young girls. A spokesperson for JP Morgan Chase said Dimon testified that he never met with Epstein or emailed him or had any discussions about his account. Meanwhile, an attorney for the plaintiffs suing the bank called the statement absurd. The lawsuits filed in New York federal court alleged the bank was well aware of the sex traffic allegations against Epstein. In fact, legal filings indicate the plaintiffs believe JP Morgan Chase overlooked Epstein's bad behavior for years before cutting ties with him.
6:14 on this Memorial Day. First full check of your forecast. I'm meteorologist Darius Mack checking out those tower cams, looking towards the Logan aluminum plant this hour. We got some clouds that overhead, also making for a nice view out there. Beautiful sunrise to start off the day. Smiths Grove Tower cam. We're also looking towards I-65 and points towards the west, noticing those clouds that are overhead. We're expecting a mix of sun and clouds today. We had some unsettled weather this weekend, especially on Sunday with those cooler temperatures and clouds. And some areas did see some showers. Otherwise, it's been mostly dry. Temperatures into the 50s across the area, approaching near 60 in some locations. 53 in Hartford there into Ohio County. Towards the west, Madisonville, 53 degrees, 54 in Hopkinsville. Let's check out those winds and wind speeds. Winds flowing in from the north and northeast. They are generally light and quiet and calm per se to start off this morning. Those dew points not far from the air temperature in some locations, so especially in those valley areas you may be encountering some areas of fog out there. Let's check out the precipitation totals within the last 24 hours. Notice most of the area has been pretty dry. You go across eastern Kentucky, they've been dealing with more unsettled weather and soggy weather just over the last 24 hours or so. Maybe trace amounts picked up in portions of the News 40 viewing area, but really it has been mainly dry throughout this weekend. Live radar pretty dry and quiet, and that is going to be the trend as we go throughout the day today. Area of low pressure into Virginia, and that is stirring in some showers that way and also into portions of West Virginia and even northeastern portions of Kentucky. We're not expecting any showers today. Towards the south and east, still seeing some shower action there into the Atlantic coast. Tracking a sizzle. This is going to be a sizzle that we are, of course, expecting later into this week. It is going to be feeling hot as we go later throughout this week, with temperatures not only making it into the upper 80s, but possibly 90 degrees. Check out those rain chances with temperatures, not to mention we'll have some daily chances for some pop-up showers and storms. Not a total washout, but it's going to be a summer-like pattern. Temperatures possibly at 90 degrees on Saturday. So we're going to be tracking that summer sizzle. It's going to be pretty warm and nice today with the mix of sun and clouds. Temperatures right around 80 degrees, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, and 6 o'clock as you plan on heading out and about and grilling out today. Here's your future cast to show you any clouds, any rain, or temperatures. And notice as we go for later throughout this afternoon, not really tracking a drop of rain out there. It's going to be a pretty much nice day with the mix of sun and clouds. We go for later tonight. We're going to stay pretty dry. Those clouds will start to fizzle out. Can't rule out some areas of fog early into the day for your Tuesday morning. Seasonably cool, by the way, to start off your Tuesday into the 60s. Notice what happens Tuesday afternoon. We'll have some moisture to work with and also a little bit of some instability that may develop, a few isolated pop-up showers and storms as we go during the heating of the day on your Tuesday. And so this will be kind of the case that I'm going to be tracking as we go throughout the next stretch of days. There's going to be daily chances for some pop-up showers and storms. Not everyone will see rain, but there is going to be a window of opportunity for some of those showers and storms to develop during the afternoon. Here's your Pest Cast, brought to you by Guarantee Pest Control. Of course, with the humidity ramping up and the heat ramping up, yeah, you're going to have to watch for those pests out there as we're looking at high levels as we go throughout the rest of the week. So that's how things are shaping up for us. Here's your 7-day forecast presented by Foundation Solutions Group. With your weekend always in view. Never too early to look forward to the weekend. 90 degrees on Saturday, 86 for the high on Sunday. Notice we're still having those isolated pop-up shower and storm chances as we go through the week. Otherwise, it's just going to be pretty hot, especially by Friday and into Saturday. Don't go anywhere. We got Money Watch coming up a little bit later.
Can't watch us live on WNKY News 40? Watch us anytime on View It.
Life is a series of timely decisions. Will you be ready? Pathways Senior Care Advisors are here to help you navigate the right path. Call Pathways Senior Care Advisors Mary Coron and Stacy Carter for your free consultation at 270-901-1878 or visit pathwayssca.com. Better informed, better choices.
Enjoy a great lunch with a different food truck every week and help support our local charities.
Join us for Food Truck Fridays at the Tidballs parking lot on Chestnut Street. Part of your lunch purchase will be donated to a local nonprofit by Flora Templeton Stewart and our food trucks.
Food Truck Friday has collected over $10,000, making a difference in our community.
Brought to you by the law firm of Flora Templeton Stewart.
Episodes.
Get ready for a 30-minute thrill ride.
43 Emmy Awards.
Competitive gameplay, high scores, and an exciting finish.
More than 500,000 clues.
Look at this. We got a game going.
$5 million winners.
Amy Schneider is now our Tournament of Champions winner.
2 hosts.
Let's play
Jeopardy.
1 Jeopardy.
Wow, what a great game.
More Americans are getting away this Memorial Day. AAA says some 42 million people were expected to travel for the holiday weekend, a 7% increase from last year. And they're spending more, too, with expenditures rising 6%. Monday is the big travel day home, but flight bookings on Tuesday and Wednesday are up by double digits as travelers extend the holiday weekend. Immigrants now make up a record share of the U.S. labor force. New government data shows nearly 1 in 5 workers last year was born outside the U.S. Immigration dipped significantly during the pandemic, which some economists believe helped drive a nationwide labor shortage. But numbers rebounded in 2022. And as another graduation season arrives, there's new research on which college majors lead to top-paying jobs. An analysis from the HEA Group found operations research, marine engineering, and computer science majors all average 6-figure salaries just 4 years out of school. The top-paying majors tend to be in STEM fields, but aren't the most popular with students. That's your CBS News Money Watch report. For more, go to cbsmoneywatch.com. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
Back here in the States, the unofficial start of summer comes with warm weather and trips to the pool. Unfortunately, it can also bring some real dangers for children. Carter Evans spoke with a father who has an important warning for all parents.
It happened in a matter of seconds. Security video shows 1.5-year-old Cole Petit squirming out of his life preserver. He then walks over to the family pool and slips beneath the surface.
He went right to the bottom.
Just like a bag of bricks, just straight down to the bottom.
Cole's dad, Zach Petit, was just feet away putting sunblock on his daughter. He makes a dive for his son and rescues him from the water.
I think that I acted in any way that any normal parent would have reacted.
The difference is you were here to react.
Exactly.
As a firefighter, Petit's responded to drownings before, so at home he has a pool fence and motion detectors.
If I had gone inside, hey, I'm gonna go grab something to drink real quick, I'm gonna go use the restroom, that small amount of time could have been the difference between, us planning a funeral or not.
An estimated 4,000 deaths are caused by unintentional drowning in the U.S. every year. It's one of the leading killers of children ages 1 to 4, with most of those drownings in home swimming pools. For families using public pools, the American Lifeguard Association says half of the nation's 309,000 public pools will be forced to close or reduce hours due to a shortage of lifeguards.
They're not going to have a place to go, and they're going to start seeking out lakes, ponds, levees, waterway, canals. There's no lifeguard there, and we're going to see more drownings as a result of that.
Petit and the Hemet Fire Department posted this video, hoping to educate parents about water safety.
I think if it ends up making one parent pay just a little bit more attention and saves one kid from drowning, and then our message was successful.
In addition to fences and alarms, lifeguards say you should designate someone specifically to watch kids when they're around a pool, and it's always a good idea to get trained in CPR, just in case.
It's 6:24, weather on the 4s before you head out the door here on this Monday morning. Let's check out your forecast. Today we have Tofu. Tofu says it's a pretty morning out there with temperatures into the 50s. We got a mix of sun and clouds, and that is going to be the case as we go throughout the day. It's going to be pretty nice. Let's check out the temperature spread, generally into the middle 50s and upper 50s, showing up 59 in Bowling Green, 58 in Glasgow, 54 there into Scottsville. Winds light and calm across the area to start off this morning. As we go throughout the day, expect those winds to remain pretty calm and quiet. Radar dry and quiet for us. Area of high pressure there towards the Great Lakes. We got an area of low pressure towards the east that's bringing in some showers into Virginia and West Virginia and northeastern portions of the state. Your commuter forecast for this Monday morning, if you plan on traveling out and about: AM dry 57, 74 for the lunch run, PM drive 79 degrees. Don't go anywhere. We got more of News 40 Sunrise that continues right after this.
At TrueFit Tint, we provide comfort, security, and privacy for your home. All of our film installations block 99% of harmful UV rays, protecting your family and your home or business. Visit us at TrueFitTint.com. WNKY News 40 is always on. Visit WNKY.com for your latest in local news, sports, and weather.
Enjoy a great lunch with a different food truck every week and help support our local charities.
Join us for Food Truck Fridays at the Tidballs parking lot on Chestnut Street. Part of your lunch purchase will be donated to a local nonprofit by Flora Templeton Stewart and our food trucks.
Food Truck Friday has collected over $10,000, making a difference in our community.
Brought to you by the law firm of Flora Templeton Stewart.
May is National Stroke Awareness Month, an observance that highlights the importance of knowing the signs and symptoms. Did you know stroke is the 5th leading cause of death in the United States? Stroke numbers are especially high for women. 55,000 more women than men have strokes every year, and twice as many women die from stroke as breast cancer. Stroke is an emergency. The sooner you seek help for symptoms, the more likely you will be to survive. If you think you or a loved one are having a stroke, think fast and call 911 for help.
The Mint Gaming Hall in Bowling Green is your premier entertainment destination. Enjoy all new games, Winner's Circle Bar, Post-Time Race and Sports Lounge, Corner Cafe, and more. Located next to the mall, the Mint Bowling Green. The winning just got closer.
All the nonsense.
I'm right.
You may be right, but you're not smart.
Meets no nonsense.
Fibber, fibber. You know that I'm not buying what you're saying to me, but I'm going to let you dig your hole.
Justice, Judge Judy style.
I always have the last word.
Watch Judge Judy weekdays at 4 on WNKY NBC 40.
It's Monday, May 29th, Memorial Day. I'm meteorologist Darius Mack. News 40 Sunrise continues. We're your News 40 Weather Authority. I'll have a full check of your forecast. If you plan on grilling out, how's the weather shaping up? That answer's coming up. Ashley Wilson's here to get you caught up with the top stories.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us here on News 40 Sunrise. I'm Ashley Wilson. Let's continue with our top stories. Today is Memorial Day, and fallen soldiers are being honored around the state for their role in serving our country. Today at 10 a.m., Governor Andy Beshear, along with other state leaders, will be at the Kentucky National Guard Memorial in Frankfort, adding 5 new names to the memorial. This brings the number of names to 291 soldiers and airmen since 1912. The governor has also ordered the flag at the state capitol to fly half-mast until noon today to honor those who gave their lives for our country. And back here at home, Barron County spent their weekend honoring those lives lost in their fight for freedom. Dozens of people flocked to Glasgow Municipal Cemetery on Saturday to lay flags down at each veteran's grave to say thank you for all they did for our country. The event is held annually, free to the public, and coordinated by the Barron Veterans Association. Typically, though, they see volunteers from all over, from the JROTC from Barron County High School, local veterans, members of the general public, even the Barron County Judge Executive Jamie Bird was planting flags.
Barron County is a very veteran-rich county, and we're proud of that heritage, and we try to remember it. We want to instill that in the younger people here in Barron County, and we don't want don't want our veterans to be forgotten.
Says hundreds of flags are placed every year and that it normally takes 2 to 3 hours to cover every veteran's grave. Authorities in Henderson, Kentucky say they believe they found a body of a missing inmate. Police say a body was pulled from the Ohio River on Sunday and they believed it is escaped prisoner Bradley Gillespie. He broke out of a prison in Lima, Ohio last Tuesday along with another man, James Lee. Investigators say both men hid in a dumpster in the prison before making their escape. Police recaptured Lee last week, but Gillespie was still on the run. Authorities say they will conduct an autopsy Tuesday to help identify the body. And 2 more horses have died at Churchill Downs here in Kentucky. Churchill Downs, home of the Kentucky Derby, said Saturday 2 horses were euthanized after sustaining injuries. That brings the total number of horse deaths in the past 2 months to 12. Churchill Downs officials say they are troubled by the deaths and don't know why they are happening. Churchill Downs said it's working with the Kentucky Horse Racing Commission to investigate the deaths and improve the sport's safety. Now it's time to take a look at your pet of the day.
Time now for your pet of the day, brought to you by Morgantown Bank and Trust. I'm Noah Fairber, and I'm here with Emerus. Emerus is a 1-year-old pit mix who loves playing with other dogs, but had separation anxiety and was brought here to no fault of their own. They are housebroken, so if you want to adopt Emerus today, come down to the Bowling Green Warren County Humane Society and help Emerus find their forever home.
Oh, sweet Emerus.
Sweet. Look at him just wagging his tail. He's curious.
He is curious, like his little ears perked up and a little smile. So he loves those pets.
He really does.
He needs a forever home, so you can adopt Emerus today from the Bowling Green Warren County Humane Society.
Well, coming up after the break, I'll have another check of your warm forecast right after this.
WNKY News 40 anchor Morgan Hoover's been nominated for Kentucky Living's Best Local TV Personality. Vote for Morgan today at KentuckyLiving.com.
Have you noticed that banking is this big corporate thing? To these mega banks, you're just an account number. And no one seems to even notice you're so wrapped up in other things? Well, snap out of it! There's a movement to take back control, to take back financial freedom, to take back banking. Kasasa is checking that rewards you for doing everyday things that you're already doing anyway. So join the movement. Take back banking with Kasasa.
Get Kasasa checking at Morgantown Bank and Trust. Connect with WNKY News 40 on social media. Follow us at WNKY TV.
Make a move in the most electrifying Honda vehicles yet. Like the CR-V and Accord, with available hybrid powertrains designed for more responsive performance, more fuel efficiency, and more advanced tech. When you drive a Honda, you're driving with the 2022 Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com Best Value brand. Get moving and find the Honda CR-V Hybrid or Accord Hybrid for you.
3A Composites in Glasgow is now hiring a manufacturing associate. Competitive pay plus quarterly bonus, medical, dental, and vision benefits, and 401k matching up to 7%. Apply online at 3acompositesusa.com.
You can't escape justice. She was gonna get me. What'd you do? I hid. Judge Mathis.
Hey y'all, it's Bree with the Pie Queen's Pantry. This week we're talking quick and easy meals to throw on your weeknight. I've got all the ingredients here to make my Southwest chicken soup, and I can't wait to see you in the Pie Queen's Pantry.
Welcome back to News 40 Sunrise. The time is 6:33. Another quick check of your forecast. Tower camera looking towards the Logan aluminum plant. You notice those clouds that are still overhead this morning. We'll have some those clouds filter out, and we'll have more in the way of some sunshine a little bit later today. As far as your forecast goes, we have Tofu, and Tofu says it's a pretty morning with temperatures into the 50s. Let's check out those temperatures right now, and generally into the 50s across the area. 54 into Scottsville. Wind speeds Winds are generally light and calm across the area. Radar dry and quiet. Area of high pressure that is over into the Great Lakes. Area of low pressure towards the east. That's stirring in some showers into West Virginia and Virginia. As far as things go for the next 12 hours to help you plan out your Memorial Day, temperatures into the upper 70s by 1 o'clock this afternoon. We are going to be somewhere into the upper 70s to right around 80 degrees with a mix of sun and clouds. Overall, not a bad weather day in store. Now I'll send it over to Ashley.
Thank you, Darius. It's time now for your Monday edition of Sunrise Spotlight. And with me in studio this morning is Taryn Deckard from Kentucky Kids on the Block, here to tell us all about their upcoming tennis tournament, Points for Puppets. Taryn, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
I always love the different events that Kids on the Block puts together. So much fun, a lot of races for kids, but
Definitely.
This is a tennis tournament, something a little different.
Yeah, so this is our 6th annual Points for Puppets, and it's presented by Parker Lord and Foundation Solutions Group, and it's my personal favorite. I play tennis. I played in this tournament before I worked here. I didn't even know it was for Kids on the Block. Yeah, it's such a great event. It's super fun.
It really comes full circle for you.
Definitely. I found one of my t-shirts in my drawer after I worked there. I was like, oh, I supported Kids on the Block before I knew I could.
I supported, and I'm here for it now, working, and now you get to be a part of this
Definitely.
event. So what does this tennis tournament look like?
So it's of all ages. I played at 12. I've seen people play in their 60s, 70s, and it opens up. It's through CKTS, and that's ckTStour.com for registration. But yeah, anyone can sign up, beginners, you know, people who are really good. It's open for, there's all kinds of different divisions.
Really for anybody, because I don't play tennis, so I feel like I would not do well. I can come and support. I can come out and hang out and watch. But what does this do, a tournament like this, to help Kids on the Block?
Yeah, so the proceeds will go toward our programs. So for people who don't know us, we go into different schools and do different programs for kids to understand and deal with hard topics. We talk about mental health, child abuse, things like that. So the money we raise for this will go towards our programs in the schools.
And the programs are so vitally important because Kentucky Kids on the Block is near and dear to my heart. And the way that these programs really help kids, and just it runs the gamut of the topics that you can discuss. And these kids really believe that these puppets are like real people, and they talk to them, they share with them, and without events like this, these programs wouldn't take place.
Right, exactly, yeah. The kids, they really seem to trust the puppets. They can relate to them, they kind of see them in the same level, so yeah, it does wonders.
Yes, so once more before we go, tell us the details on how people can get signed up and when the event's taking place.
Okay, so the registration opens today, and it is at ckTStour.com. Yeah, and it's June 17th through the 18th.
Wonderful. Well, Taryn, thank you so much for being here this morning.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
That was your Monday edition of Sunrise Spotlight. When we return, Darius is back with another full check of today's forecast. Stay with us.
Every Tuesday evening, now through October, from 5 to dusk, come join us and go cruising for a cure. Rev up for fun, fellowship, and cool cars. Cruise on in behind Brewster's Real Ice Cream on Scottsville Road in the Southern Lanes parking lot. We're raising money for the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation, the Alzheimer's Association, and Hospice of Southern Kentucky. Join us now for Cruisin' for a Cure, presented by J.C. Kirby & Son Funeral Chapels.
Home is more than a house. Wherever you are in your journey of homeownership, German American Bank is here to support you. Our team of dedicated mortgage loan professionals can help you with lending solutions featuring low or no down payment, assistance for closing costs and improvement projects, or even loans specifically for first-time home buyers. We're here to tell you, homeownership is achievable. German American Bank, member FDIC.
Join the WNKY News 40 weather team. Visit WNKY.com to become a weather watcher.
If you're pregnant, recently had a baby, breastfeeding, or have a child younger than 5 years of age, the Special Supplemental Nutrition Program for Women, Infants, and Children could help you. WIC offers breastfeeding education, nutrition services, and access to nutritious foods, and access to healthcare services. To see if you qualify, visit barronriverhealth.org/WIC program, or call the Barron River District Health Department at 270-781-8039.
At WNKY News 40, we're proud to be your weather authority. From Bowling Green to Glasgow, from Morgantown to Brownsville to Edmonton, we cover more than 2,000 square miles.
We can't be everywhere, so that's where you come in. We're inviting you to become part of the WNKY News 40 Weather Watchers.
Visit WNKY.com to learn how you can join the team.
And we'll see you for all-day weather coverage.
News 40 weather, because local matters.
You can talk big. You're trying to talk slick with me, and I'm a highly paid slick talker.
Hide behind the drama.
Oh, this is some messy gossip.
But you can't escape justice.
She was gonna get me. What'd you do? I hid.
Judge Mathis, weekdays on CBS 40.
Starting off to be a beautiful morning across southern and central Kentucky here on this Memorial Day. I'm meteorologist Darius Mack. Another full check of your forecast. We're your News 40 Weather Authority. Let's check out those tower cams across the region. Logan Aluminum plant there, courtesy of the Weather Stem camera. We got those clouds overhead. A nice view there. Temperatures into the 50s generally across the region towards I-65 and points towards the west. Also noticing some clouds that are overhead. Those clouds will filter out. We'll get in with a mix of sun and clouds throughout this afternoon. Temperatures are expected to recover as well. We're starting off a little bit on the cooler side into the 50s across the region. Upper 50s, mid 50s, 56 in Hardinsburg, 53 there into Ohio County. Towards the west, Madisonville at 53, 54 in Hopkinsville this hour. Winds generally light and calm across the region, flowing in from the north to northeast. Dew points into the middle 50s. Some locations, especially in those valley areas, may encounter some areas of fog to start off this morning. Precipitation-wise, we've dodged most of the rain this weekend. Most of that stayed across eastern Kentucky. We did have some unsettled weather yesterday, mainly in the form of those clouds that did, of course, keep our temperatures a little bit on the cooler side. But with those clouds starting to filter out, we should expect those temperatures to recover as we go throughout the day. Area of low pressure across the east there into North Carolina, and then also that's stirring in some showers into Virginia and West Virginia and even northeastern portions of the state. We're going to remain pretty dry as we go throughout the day. Your grilling forecast on this Memorial Day. Temperatures near 80 degrees, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. It's looking pretty nice out there with those winds flowing in from the north. It's going to be a pretty nice day. As far as the heat goes, though, later this week, especially by mid to late week, you're going to notice temperatures really warming up. I'm tracking a summer-like pattern, and to simply put it, it's going to be hot as we go later throughout this week. Temperatures into the upper 80s and then potentially approaching 90 degrees later into this weekend as well. Your forecast for today as you're heading out taking a splash, be sure to apply that sunscreen. Temperatures again near 80 degrees, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, even through 7 o'clock this evening. We're still into the upper 70s. We'll be into the lower 70s by 9 o'clock tonight. Here's your futurecast to help you plan out your day. Notice some of those clouds filtering out. We'll have a mix of sun and clouds as we go throughout the day. We go for later into tonight. Those clouds will start to break apart even more, so we'll have more in the way of some clearer skies, and you'll be able to view some stars if you plan on stargazing tonight. Temperatures into the 60s to start off early into your Tuesday, seasonably cool. We go throughout your Tuesday afternoon. And with this summer-like pattern and the humidity building up, can't rule out some daily chances for some pop-up storms. So these are heat-driven storms that may develop throughout the day. And these will be kind of backward-moving showers and storms where we're not quite used to seeing those storms working its way from west to east. We'll see those storms working from east to west, and that may also be associated with that area of low pressure that is just off towards the east. Your Pestcast this week brought to you by Guarantee Pest Control. We're going to have to be on high alert for those pests out there as temperatures are warming up. It's going to be cranking up as far as those temperatures go and the humidity building up as well, so we'll just have to keep an eye out for that. Here is your 7-day forecast presented by Foundation Solutions Group. Temperatures into the middle 80s Thursday, Friday into the upper 80s, 90 degrees on Saturday, and temperatures staying pretty hot as we go throughout your weekend as well, into the upper 80s on your Sunday, with more in the way of some sunshine in store as well. Remember, you can scan to plan your day by scanning that QR code at the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. Now it's time to wish our friends happy birthday in today's Soki's Birthday Club.
Brewster's Real Ice Cream. Fresh flavors. Fresh desserts. Fresh fun. Brewster's, fresh from farm to cone.
My dad and I started Blankenship & Sons Pest Control in 1975. We came to the family farm here and decided we'd open our own business here.
I was the only one working it for a while, but it expanded real fast.
In 2000, we purchased Guarantee Pest Control, and we operate both companies exactly the same training, same everything. What we like to do is use traditional values and mix them with new technologies to come to the best possible outcome.
We live the Bud life. You can bug us anytime.
When people ask, why Bad Boy? It's simple. Every Bad Boy mower and every Bad Boy tractor are born from steel and built tough to the same standards that have made the Bad Boy brand legendary. Not only for toughness, but for power, for strength, for performance, quality, and comfort. These are the whys. You are the how. Start your legend. Bad Boy.
Duncan Hines, a Bowling Green native, was a true pioneer of the road less traveled. He knew that the best way to experience a new place was through its cuisine and places to stay.
And that's exactly what Duncan Hines Days is all about, immersing yourself in the flavors, sights, and sound of our community's heritage.
Join us June 5th through 11th for the inaugural Duncan Hines Days in downtown Bowling Green.
Showcasing the unique foods, drinks, and spots that make our region special.
Sketch, Forrest! Sketch!
Pictionary. My daddy, he liked Pictionary. He liked Pictionary shrimp, Pictionary shrimp.
Pencil us in.
This is for the trip to dentist.
Every weekday on WNKY, NBC 40. Vote Morgan Hoover Best TV Personality at KentuckyLiving.com.
There's nothing like a good cup of joe, and a pretty picture on top can make it even better. In downtown Bowling Green, a few baristas threw down this weekend, putting their art skills to the test. News 40 reporter Michael Ridgway brings us a story of competition and charity.
At Spencer's Coffee House, their annual judged event, Latte Art Showdown, attracts many coffee lovers to see a unique art form. They had put a pause on it since COVID, but since around 2013, it's been a spectacle.
But in the past, when we do our 64 competitor bracket, it's like people from New York, Texas, all fly out here. It's a pretty big deal. So this is kind of just a little micro version of that.
Even though it's a competition, there's a sense of camaraderie among those in the coffee world.
It's a very leveling platform. Everybody's very nervous when they get up there. So whether you're a seasoned barista or you're fresh off the bat, typically everybody has a chance. And there's typically prize money involved.
But some of the money is going to a good cause as well. The summer reading program for the Warren County Public Library.
So the summer reading program is for folks of all ages. It's just about community engagement and getting our community reading and participating with the library and other activities that keep their minds and bodies engaged all summer long. It's going to directly impact and benefit the kids of this county. They're helping us buy books. They're helping us put funds into our big kickoff event that's happening on June 8th.
Spencer's picks a different charity every year to help out with the contest, and I guess you could say this time around, it was a perfect match.
Coffee and books. What could be a better...
That's it.
What am I trying to say? What could be a better...
Marriage.
Oh, God.
In Bowling Green, because local matters, Michael Ridgway, WNKY News 40.
The city of Bowling Green and Warren County are preparing for a big celebration next week. Duncan Hines Days are making their return, once known as Duncan Hines Festival. The event is kicking off on June 5th in downtown Bowling Green. It's an homage to Duncan Hines, a Bowling Green native born in 1880 and a WKU alum. He was a traveling salesman, and he kept a journal of places he would stay and eat, and you'd consider him one of the first Yelp reviewers. He was a trusted household name when it came to all things food and travel in the early 1900s.
For Duncan Hines Days, we want to remember all of the great heritage that he leaves behind in terms of good food and good fun and good entertainment, but also celebrate all of those things that make Southern Kentucky unique now. Kind of a, what would Duncan Hines recommend in Bowling Green now if he was still here?
In addition to Restaurants Week, there will be over 20 events throughout the week for the community to enjoy. For a full rundown over everything happening June 5th through the 11th, you can visit DuncanHinesDays.com. And we come back. Darius joins Tommy at the WKU Ag Center to learn more about the Kentucky Mesonet. Then Darius will have a full check of our forecast. Don't go anywhere.
Listen to the WNKY News 40 weather drive time forecast. Weekdays on All Hit Woohoo 107.
Don't let fear stop you from getting the dental care you need.
At Chandler Park Dental Care, many of our patients are pleased to know that we offer sedation dentistry for those that have anxiety about having dental work done.
We provide quality care for you and your family.
We're happy to welcome you into our relaxing atmosphere at Chandler Park Dental Care.
Call Chandler Park Dental Care today to schedule an appointment and experience the comprehensive and trusted care you deserve.
Kayaking is my thing.
Running is awesome.
But her moderate to severe eczema would make her skin so uncomfortable.
I was always so itchy, especially when I was hot.
Now my skin doesn't itch as much.
Now we're staying ahead of her eczema.
There's a power inside all of us to live our passion. And Dupixent works on the inside to help heal your skin from within. It helps block a key source of inflammation inside the body that can cause eczema, so they can have clearer skin and less itch. Serious allergic reactions can occur that can be severe. Tell your doctor about new or worsening eye problems, such as eye pain or vision changes, including blurred vision, joint aches and pain, or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma medicines without talking to your doctor.
Healing from within is a wonderful thing.
Ask your child's eczema specialist how Dupixent can help heal their skin from within.
When a 1 in a million experience struck one family, News 40 had the details. As Governor Beshear campaigns across Kentucky, News 40 brought you his Bowling Green kickoff. When a former WKU football player impressed the NFL, News 40 Sports had the story. After Guy Fieri stopped in Bowling Green for some sweet treats, News 40 had the scoop. WNKY News 40, because local matters.
So this is the site that really got it all started for Kentucky Mesonet back in May 2007. This is our home site, we call it here, the WKU farm. We have a steel tower. This is 10 meters tall. That equates to a little over 30 feet. And along that steel tower, we have various pieces of instrumentation. You notice down here closer to the ground, we have temperature, relative humidity, and air pressure sensors. It is beneficial to not only folks in the media like yourself, but also the National Weather Service. I go back to December of 2021, that catastrophic tornado outbreak where we had wind gusts in the 3 digits recorded at our sites over in Graves County. Shortly before the EF4 tornado went just 1,500 feet away from that site and slammed into the city of Mayfield. That same tornado moved directly over our site located near Princeton in Caldwell County. As it did so, it actually twisted and mangled our steel tower. And before it went offline, it measured a 3-second average wind speed of 120 miles an hour.
That is hurricane force winds. I just want to point that out.
And that is the record measurement in terms of wind for Kentucky Mesonet.
Wow.
That data logger is responsible for taking in all the parameters, the temperature, the relative humidity, pressure, wind speed, wind direction, solar radiation, along with soil moisture and soil temperature. That's beneficial to those in the agricultural and farming communities to let them know how the soil moisture is behaving, what to plant, when to plant it. Soil temperature is very critical as to a planting season for them as well. So these probes come in handy there.
Is there a future? What is the future like for Kentucky Mesonet and equipment like this?
The future is bright for Kentucky Mesonet. We are 80 stations strong and growing. We are cutting the ribbon soon on a station over in Russell County near the Lake Cumberland area. We are also installing a station right now, the Bluegrass section near Lexington. So that's going to be a station number 81 for us. The goal is to put one site, at least one, in all 120 counties across Kentucky.
Now that is incredible because when you have one site for every 120 counties in Kentucky, that just means there's more information provided spatially across the state.
Exactly, and the more data you have coming in, the better it is, not only for us at Mesonet, but for all the meteorologists, those in emergency management, and officials when it comes to early warning, especially during severe weather.
Kentucky Mesonet. It's about 6:54. Let's check out your pool cast on this Memorial Day. If you plan on heading out to the pool, temperatures into the 70s by 1 p.m. this afternoon. And notice a mix of sun and clouds. Temperatures near 80 degrees. We're going to stay pretty warm even through 9 o'clock tonight as well, with temperatures into the 70s. Here's your future cast to show you what things look like as we go throughout this afternoon. Again, a mix of sun and clouds. Some rain across portions of eastern Kentucky. Otherwise, we'll stay pretty dry as we go throughout the rest of the day today. Temperatures lows for early into Tuesday down into the 60s. Seasonably cool. We go for your Tuesday afternoon. Can't rule out a few pop-up showers and storms that will develop during the heating of the day, as I am going to be tracking a summer-like pattern that will go throughout this week. And temperatures, of course, will be trending on the warmer side. Don't go anywhere. We're going to be wrapping up News 40 Sunrise right after this commercial break.
Hey, Aaron, how are you?
We're all born with the good in us. We're all in need of love. Dreams get torn, but we stand up, making a change that is calling us. Beautiful world, beautiful people, boys and girls, we're all equal. So clap your hands, get up and dance. Beautiful world, beautiful people.
WNKY News 40 loves celebrating our viewers. That's why we bring you Soki's Birthday Club. Joining the club is free and simple. Visit WNKY.com/birthday, fill out the form, and click submit. That's it. Your name will appear on News 40 Sunrise and News 40 at noon on your birthday, and you'll be entered to win a special birthday surprise. WNKY News 40 loves celebrating you because local matters. Soki's Birthday Club is brought to you by these great sponsors.
It's the Women's Championship like we've never seen.
I'm really looking forward to the challenge.
That was insane!
I have to defend my title.
Come on, LeBron.
I don't need easy. I just need possible.
Yes!
For the first time, it's Ninja versus Ninja.
We are going for speed.
Here we go. I never thought we would see something like this.
The Ninja Warrior Women's Championship tonight, and the new season begins June 5th on NBC.
Hey y'all, it's Bree with the Pie Queen's Pantry. This week we're talking quick and easy meals to throw on your weeknight. I've got all the ingredients here to make my Southwest chicken soup, and I can't wait to see you in the Pie Queen's Pantry.
Over 8,000 episodes, more than 500,000 clues, 2 hosts.
Let's play
Jeopardy! 1 Jeopardy!
Roof repair you can trust. Call Freedom Contracting.
Well, Darius, this Kentucky Mesonet, right up your alley. This is good for you.
Great things happening with the Kentucky Mesonet, and I'm really excited to hear that they are going to be installing cameras at each location. So that will be, you know, incredible for me because I love using
That'll make
cameras.
your job easier and all meteorologists' jobs easier. And to be able to share that information, I know, especially I feel like after the tornadoes, just to have that information statewide is just really handy.
It is very handy. And of course, you can also check out their website. They always have up-to-the-minute information, temperatures, relative humidity, winds, all of that is available. And also, we use that here at the News 40 Weather Authority Center a lot. So it helps us out with the forecast and the data that it brings. It's just very helpful.
Tommy on the town.
Yeah,
bring weather in.
I learned so much about the Kentucky Mesonet. So much goes into it. Like, I didn't realize that they have to be really particular with where they put their instruments and whatnot. Like, it has to be completely flat. It can't be, like, near any buildings. So, like, it's usually on, like, farmers' land or, like, out in the middle of nowhere.
Away from trees. Anything that could obstruct or kind of make the data kind of wonky. So it's just really important to also know where to place those instruments. So
and they even have to mow the grass a certain length so that the grass doesn't affect the instruments. Like,
I mean,
like
that
by
makes sense.
Temperature data.
But like temperature, not like touching the instruments, but like the grass can affect the temperature, like the readings and whatnot. And I did not know that. So like when we were there, the grass was like a little shorter than everything else, but not like really short. So it was just like so cool to see all the things that went into it.
Science and the moving parts that go.
Just all the things you
all of it.
you don't think about. But yeah, it's something as just simply getting temperature and data just in the palm of our hands.
It is expensive.
It is very expensive, and a lot of work.
It was expensive.
I can imagine.
So
hundreds of thousands of dollars, I believe, to set that thing up, and it's like a 2-year process, I believe, is what Shane said too. From conceiving the idea to actually getting the thing put up. Yeah. So, but like Darius, you said, it sounds like that stuff really helps you out. So, and it's really important to us here. So
very incredible what the Kentucky Mesonet does, and I'm just really excited to see what the future brings.
Absolutely.
I'll have to go check out the website.
It's brought us some pretty good weather today, that's for sure.
Yes,
on this Memorial Day, we got. I don't know if you guys had a great Memorial Day weekend, but I had a pretty good Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah, it was pretty. I mean, it was a pretty relaxed Memorial Day weekend for me, and not much in the way weather-wise, so that just really helped as well. So
yeah, I know I was out a lot this weekend. Obviously, just trying to get yard work done. But it was my sister's birthday. Happy birthday, Ann Taylor! So we celebrated her, and then have family coming into town today, or actually they were here this weekend. So we're having breakfast with them, and hopefully just spending the day outside.
That sounds fantastic.
Like a ton of fun.
Yeah.
You'll definitely be able to spend the day outside today because it's going to be pretty nice with temperatures near 80 degrees this afternoon. Here's your 7-day forecast presented by Foundation Solutions Group. Temperatures staying anywhere into the 80s as we go throughout the week. But notice Friday and Saturday, upper 80s. 90 degrees for the high on Saturday. We're going to have those daily chances for some pop-up showers and storms as I'm tracking a summer-like pattern, but otherwise it should be mostly dry for the most part. Temperatures into the 60s for overnight lows.
All right. Thank you, Darius. And thank you all for joining us this Memorial Day morning. We hope you have a wonderful and safe day. We'll see you right back here tomorrow at 6 a.m. But stick around. Your network news is next.